So for 2000,
Okay.
Kobe's playoff stats were 21.1, 4.5, 4.4. In 01, his playoff stats were 29.4 points a game. So
Okay.
he's averaging, I tell you, I'm not even going to do the points. 29 a game, 7 rebounds, 6 assists.
Okay.
Shaq was definitely carrying the fucking load with that team for sure.
What was Shaq?
Hold on. I'm not done. Let's complete the three-peat, and then AC Lee can jump in. 27, 6, and 5 in 02.
Took a step back.
Point-wise, he did. And, yeah, I guess rebound and assist-wise, too, technically. But point being, Kobe Bryant never shied away from the moment, and maybe because they were beating the brains out of people, he didn't have to take game-winning shots that early in his career because they were fucking winning. They were dominant. They were beating people. They swept the Nets. They beat the Sixers in 5, and they beat the Pacers in 4. And the 4 was the first championship. That goes to show the dominance. It went in 6, in 5, sweep. That's how that in the championship round it went. They were beating the hell out of people. And even in that Sixers series, they lose that game, game 1. I remember it too. So memorable. AI had like 50. And like I remember watching that vividly in our family room. And like AI had like one of those games. He just had one, especially back then. A motherfucker scoring 50 back then was different than today, somebody doing it. Like it's not the same. Tatum's game 750 was very impressive against Philly.
Oh, well,
but it was Doc Rivers. So like he didn't that 50 in game 7 was not even as impactful as AI's game 150 against
so in that same time frame of those Kobe numbers you gave me, can I get the Shaq numbers, please? The guy who won.
Okay. Let me pull them up. Playoff wise. Did you write down Kobe's?
I don't need to write them down. It was like 17.
Here, hold on. I'm gonna pull them up. These weren't finals numbers. Those were playoff numbers.
Yeah.
And that's the journey. The journey's numbers.
It was like high teens, low 20s, then 29 and 27.
I'm pulling it up. All right. So, all right, Shaq. So 2000, 30 and 15.
Okay.
The next year, 30 and 15.
Okay.
Now, Kobe was basically 30 himself and also was averaging 7 boards and 6 assists. Now, let's remember that in 01.
Yeah, we'll make sure we prep.
Complete game. He's the I get it. He's a guard, but like, 6 assists for your shooting guard, and you have a point guard. Pretty fucking good.
Derek Fisher's not a good point guard.
Shaq wasn't creating every fucking shot by himself. Derek Fisher probably averaged about 7 or 8 assists, let alone with Rick Fox getting 3, shit like that. But like, all right. And then the final year of the three-peat, 28. I'll round up 13.
All right, so here's where you and I view this whole thing differently.
Okay.
Kobe had the opportunity to have secondary numbers.
Okay.
Where LeBron, this is his first year where he's had the opportunity to have secondary numbers. But because of the way we view him and the way we view AD and we view their team, we still don't give Bron the opportunity to have secondary numbers. Because Bron's putting up secondary numbers right now. And I look at the box score today and I say, Bron lost a game.
He tied the team in scoring.
But hold on. Not only did Bron lose the game off the layup that he missed.
Fair.
He got pinned. The dunk that he just lost the ball trying to get too fancy.
Yeah, to try to do his signature dunk, like one of them signature dunks.
He should have done his normal signature dunk.
Well, not the tomahawk, but he does that.
Yeah, he should have done his normal signature. He should have just laid it up.
Or just lay it up. I don't fucking care.
Right, you owe it and don't want to dunk.
You got title aspirations.
And then you had the missed layup at the rim where they could have said Aaron Gordon.
Those are like his only 3 misses from 2 outside of his 4 for 6 from 3.
Yeah, like these are your misses, right? So I look at this and I go, Bron, you lost this game. Bron lost the game today. Y'all know I'm the biggest Bron fan. LeBron James lost game 2.
I won't.
No. I will put the game on LeBron James. He had pivotal shots that he missed that he made more difficult than he needed to be, and he fucking lost. Okay, but when we start comparing the LeBron resume to the Kobe resume, and you start talking to me about Kobe has more rings, and I say
it's not about him having more rings. It's about you discrediting how valuable he was to some of the rings that he won, which is where I think that's where Kobe's GOAT debate gets like tossed up because people think that like, yeah, he needed Shaq to win them. And here's the thing. He didn't necessarily have to have Shaq. He could have had another really good center and it not be Shaq. I'm not saying that Dikembe Mutombo. Look, Shaq was by far the best big man in the league. I'm just saying if you gave him somebody at the time that was a 19-9 dude at center, I think that the Lakers win a title with that, is what I'm saying. With Phil Jackson as the coach. Now, where does Shaq go?
I think you and
like
Kobe.
If Shaq stays in Orlando, is he winning even with T-Mac, low-key? I don't think that they win. But that's just they come out of the East for sure.
I think you and Kobe are the only people that believe that Kobe still wins rings with those teams.
He won more than Shaq, and which is another way to dismiss this conversation. Shaq was over, but he didn't fucking win. But Shaq
He won more than Shaq, yes, but they're not the same age.
Okay, the same age. They went to the same amount of championships.
Let me see. When is Shaq coming to the league?
I got Shaq. Kobe is 5-3 in the NBA.
Hold on. Shaq came to the league in 92. Kobe came into the league in 96. 96, 97, 92, 93, right? So 4 years
5
apart.
years. 4. Okay, 4. Yeah.
When Kobe went back, Shaq was cooked. Kobe went back.
Yeah, he was out of the league. I tell you what, he's playing with LeBron, trying to get a ring with him too.
Right. Like Kobe went back 08, 09, 2010, right?
But 1 year, basically 2 years later, after separating from Kobe, he won with D Wade, where D Wade's
Kobe. Tell me how my ass tastes. Kobe, tell me how my ass tastes.
Year 3 of D Wade and year 2 of Shaq in Miami, and Pat Riley, by the way, being the coach. You see the common thing with Shaq's titles too. He has basically 2 of the 3 greatest coaches ever.
Well, it's Kobe won his title, the best coach.
Kobe won all his just like Jordan did. He won on film. They did win together.
When Phil was gone, Kobe was good stats, bad team.
And maybe, I'm not trying to be funny though. Let's also bring up why Kobe didn't win. Kobe took a starting lineup that had Smush Parker and Kwame Brown to a 3-1 lead against the Suns. Hold on. Let's not forget that he did have a 3-1 lead with them niggas as his teammates too. Those were the starters. They started in that series.
Did they win that series?
They lost in 7.
Okay.
As a 7 seed against a almost 60-win Suns team. So
he
was the modern NBA, the Steph Curry, the Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr at one point was the GM of the Suns. I know he wasn't maybe during that time because he was on TNT. But my point is, or maybe he was with the Spurs still. But regardless, irrelevant. My point is this. The modern NBA Suns, who were playing that style of ball in 06, 07, was who they took 7. And Kobe, heroically was winning with Samaki Walker, Kwame Brown, Smush Parker, Luke Walton. These were the niggas. These were the dudes that had the most minutes that year on his team. Wait.
What seed are the Lakers in season 20 for 38-year-old LeBron?
They're the 7.
What round are they in right now?
They're in the Western Conference Finals.
Okay, so I just
what are you getting at? I guess I'm trying to figure out your end game with the Kobe Bryant and LeBron. Look, you're blaming LeBron for this, which I
Kobe can't lick the dirt off LeBron's
I
cleats.
don't think he gets all the blame for why they lost the game. I think that he gets some of it because he did not play great and he never took over the game, which is where my Kobe argument comes in. Kobe doesn't allow that to happen. Kobe would have went out fucking missing all of his shots, Jason Tatum type style, kind of, and like lose the game.
Don't say Jason Tatum.
As opposed to I went 9 of 19 and I basically almost shot 50%, but and I almost had a triple double, but now somehow, some way, I only lost about 5. And then it's like, well, LeBron still put up these calm ass numbers. No, man. We can blame him, but AD played super duper poor. Which is why LeBron needed to show up. AD had 40 last game. And AD played poor last game, in my opinion, because of how bad he was defensively for the game. He actually played a lot better defensively today. And LeBron did not step up offensively. But Austin Reeves also had a good game. So it's just Rui Hachimura didn't miss a shot until the middle of the third quarter. They led the entire game. LeBron got cute, missed a lot of shots that he probably shouldn't have missed, or just him just a lot of shit that was un-LeBron-like. But he never even tried to take over the game. He never even tried to. And so that's where I blame him. I blame Darvin Ham. He got out coached by Mike Malone. Mike Malone, yeah, he did. Because, Murray had a fourth quarter game. Basically, he had 23 in the fourth quarter. So he had a game in the fourth quarter, but he played poorly pretty much the first 3 quarters.
Jamal Murray is one of the
all the time out after he makes the second 3.
Murray is one of the highest ceiling, lowest floor players in the fucking league.
Because his floor is 17-5. That's his floor as a player.
No. His floor is
7-5.
No, his floor is 3 for 25 and 8 points. His ceiling is a 50 ball.
You're saying from a game-to-game standpoint,
yes.
His worst possible game is 3 of 25 with 8 points. But
yes.
I don't think. I mean, maybe he's had that game, but I'm just saying.
Let me tell you what.
Clearly, he's a way better playoff player.
I went through his. Not really. I went through his basketball.
He has the highest from points. He has the highest disparity from playoff career average. Now, granted, he's got a couple 50 balls in there, but but still, you start talking about 7 points is the difference in his career average.
But let me tell you, I went to his basketball reference yesterday.
Okay.
I wasn't not even expecting this conversation. It wasn't yesterday. It was 2 days ago because they kept calling him an elite scorer. And I was telling my wife, he's not an elite scorer. He has elite scoring ability, but he's not an elite scorer because he does not do it consistently. You cannot have a career average of 18, 19 points per game. Your career high is 21 points per game and be an elite scorer. Mm-hmm. That's not elite scoring.
Well, he's never made an all-star game. Him and CJ McCollum are super duper similar players from the standpoint of they both play in the West, which is ultra competitive. We know that the guard position is clearly the most competitive. They
wouldn't be all-stars in the East, by the way.
I used to think, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'm not even analyzing the East All-Stars.
I'm just telling you.
Tyrese Halliburton came from the West and immediately made the All-Star team. So I think that if CJ McCollum went to Indiana, he probably would have made it too. Now, he's not as talented or as young now, Murray if Murray went to Indiana, he would have made the All-Star this year. I don't care what you say. If he's healthy, he would have made the All-Star team. Yeah, he would have. He would have made – if the Pacers did what they did, he wouldn't have put up – Halliburton's a 19-8-8 guy, but Murray in Indiana could have been a
24,
3-3. 6-3. He could have been that guy in Indiana. He could have did that. They would have won just as many games.
I don't know if they win as many games. No, and here's why. Let me talk to you through because I'm not big on Jamal Murray.
I know that, but that's what I'm saying. You have a bias here in this conversation.
Well,
just as I do for Kobe, you do. To a degree, you do. I'm not saying you're using it, but you have one.
I do. Yeah, I have anti-Jamal Murray bias, but I want to let people know where it comes from. He is not consistent. I never speak about what he's capable of doing. But if you look at his
games when he's healthy,
if you look at his game logs, though, like when I was watching today's game, and I told y'all in the group text in game 1, Jamal Murray is due for back-to-back bad games. I was through 3 quarters. He did exactly what I thought he was going to do. Fucking suck. And then, superstar Jamal Murray woke up like 5 quarters before he was supposed to. Because based on his career history, he doesn't do this. Like let me tell you, when I read down his last like 10 game log to my wife, who was one of the most, she knows how basketball works, but she dead ass asked me the other day, why is it that the person with the ball usually initiates contact, but the other person gets called for a foul? I feel like the person with the ball is usually the one who's the foul should be called. And I go, you have a great virgin eye to basketball. Because, yes, most of these niggas on offense initiate contact, and there should be no foul call on the defender.
The refs let them kind of play today, too.
Ish.
And
then we went, but I take her down.
Calls, but that happens almost every game.
I take her down Jamal Murray's basketball reference page of his last few games. I go into like some of his numbers. She goes, he's not elite.
Nobody said he was elite.
You didn't watch game 1, did you?
I did watch game 1. He had 30.
Did you listen to the telecast? Mark Jackson.
The media doesn't influence how I view my basketball. I've watched enough of it. What I'm saying is this, Lee. Like,
I'm not saying you think he's elite. I'm telling you that the media is
damn good. I think that he should have made one All-Star game by now. Yeah, like I think he's that good. I think he's good enough to make an All-Star team.
I agree.
Do I think he's a top 20 player in the league? No.
How on time music? He doesn't have to be elite to go off. No fucking shit, dude.
Well, he also plays with what you could argue. I'm not saying the best. He's obviously Jokic isn't the best center, but like, let's say the Nuggets win the title. He's not the best center, but what he is he might be. I think Akeem Olajuwon typically takes this title. He might be the most skilled center of all time, bro. I mean, what he does, he passed Wilt Chamberlain.
No, I think he's passed.
Like for most triple, like might be the most skilled center of all time. So he plays with arguably a generational player in Jokic. Like Jokic is kind of especially in this era of basketball, bro. Like I don't think that there's another center you would rather have. Like, yeah, Embiid, I guess, is considered a center. Giannis isn't considered a center. He's a power forward. So, like,
Giannis is at home right now doing what we're doing.
Yeah, exactly. He's talking about, Alex. Okay, because like he's doing that. But I'm just simply saying, like, in this basketball, what could Mike D'Antoni have done with him on the Suns? Get rid of Morris Stoudemire and add him with Marion and Nash and Barbosa and these guys. They probably win because he fits better in that type of offense. He's the perfect center for that type of offense.
No, he's not. He's not.
How is he not?
Because he needs the freedom to do what he wants to do.
Who's the leading scorer on those teams?
It doesn't matter.
It was Amari Stoudemire.
No, but I'm saying like it doesn't.
It's not Steph Curry.
It does not
average 25, 30 points a game. Steve Nash averaged like 16 or 17 points a game. I mean,
it doesn't matter though. Jokic can't be on like the 7 seconds or less thing. He needs the ball and he needs to be allowed to do whatever the hell he wants to do when he wants to do it without like many constraints. Like Mike Malone says, "Hey, Jokic, do you?" Everybody around him.
You don't think that he would fit any offense in the NBA?
I am telling you that
I'm asking a question. I'm talking about the way that they have the NBA, the way that it's constructed now. How is he not like the perfect center for any team?
I don't disagree with that.
Well, that's what I'm saying though.
No, but you brought it. You
I'm
brought
saying,
in
like,
the D'Antoni's sons, and I can't get with D'Antoni's sons because
that's the first version of the NBA today, and that's why
Well,
I'm saying even if you throw him in 07, 06 to 09, like he fits it. I guess is what I'm saying.
Own Time Music said in Beach trash Al Horford's his daddy.
Who?
Nigga in the comments.
Who? Well, what was the name again?
Time Music.
I don't know about Al Horford being his daddy, but Al Horford definitely shut his ass down. So,
all right. So let's tie in this. I don't even. Look, Jokic is the best center in the league. I think right now Jokic is the best player in the league. I know people think that I'm anti-Euro. I'm not. Prove it to me. Like, let me see it. Let me see it work in games that matter. And Jokic is making it work. And he's not just scoring. He's not just rebounding. He's not just getting assists. He's impacting the game in a way that LeBron once impacted the game. Like KCP said, like the difference between LeBron and Jokic is that LeBron has hops. Honestly, that's how it looks.
It does because, bro, what he does.
Jokic is getting better calls than LeBron, by the way. And
he's big too, though. I mean, he's down. That's like being an O lineman and getting more holding, like than a corner and a wide receiver. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I'm just saying. No, I'm just saying. Like Jokic is getting a very favorable whistle, which really speaks to who he is and his status in the league. That's all I'm saying. It's part of it. But let's see. Hey, it's the AC Lee and Parlay Pete podcast. We're back after a week. We took a week off because the Boykins got married. Shout out to Boink,
Zoe,
and Zoe,
and all the bridesmaids and groomsmen, and the people that just made it possible, the wedding planners, and everybody that came.
Hey, yeah, it was a great time. Can we talk about the wedding planner real quick?
Which one? I know there was like 3. You're frozen, Lee. So if you're saying anything, I cannot hear you. Oh, I was about to take a picture of it because you were frozen.
I didn't say shit.
Oh.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I saw that I was frozen. I said, hey, I didn't get AT&T fiber for this shit. But no, the wedding planner was absolutely amazing. She was mean to us because we were full of shit and we were moving slowly. And she had no time for any of our bullshit. And I just want to shout her out for doing her job very well in circumstances where her, Boink, and Zoe were the only people who were very concerned about making her timelines. The rest of us could get given a fuck less. We were drunk and having fun.
We were having fun, and it was a perfect storm of everybody being able to maintain that while being serious.
Right. You know, if Dale would have been there, the entire locker room would have showed up. But, you know, Dale was supporting his family.
I'm not even mad at him supporting his family. I'm not mad at him at all, but like, it was the fact that I was like, so when's the graduation? He's like, Friday. I was like, well, the wedding's Saturday. And then I was like, so where is the graduation? Miami. And it's like, well, that's closer to Atlanta than DC is. So
hop on a flight.
And big money. Look, I know that motherfucker got the money, man. Fly back down then afterwards. I'm just saying.
Bro, I'm selfish.
Just in the wedding, I'm curious as to what his how he.
If he doesn't come, if he doesn't come to Gamble's bachelor party, we should probably put up a vote of whether or not he should be in the league.
Kick him out of the group.
I ain't saying kick him out of the. I'm not saying. I'm not saying kick him out of the group, but we could put his head on the platter for the league because there are people who want to join the league, and he missed Joel's bachelor party. It made sense, real legitimate reason. He missed a wedding, legitimate reason. I don't know if he's invited to Gamble's wedding because I don't know. But if
How do
he
you not know?
but if he misses Gamble's bachelor
I don't
party,
know why anyone wouldn't be invited to the wedding.
fair. But if he misses Gamble's bachelor party in the city in which he lives in, Dale, I love you, and I know you listen to the pod. But I'll be the first nigga to put your head on the platter to get you out of the fucking league.
Kick his ass out of the group.
I won't kick you out of the group. We want you in the group, but
No,
league.
kick his ass out. I'm fucking around, but
But no, it was a great weekend, man. Like the whole locker room was together for the first time since college.
except him, and this
Except
is
for
why he
fucking
fucked
Dale.
up. And then his birthday was a couple days that we really could have had a whole weekend of celebration. And
Depends on who you are.
I mean, I'm sure that we could have made it work. It could have worked out for everybody.
We definitely could have went to like Georgia Tech and party with the fucking SIGs.
I brought some white people up for the Friday night party. Look, we could have got more. I didn't even think to invite all the people I could have. I just thought about like, well, I know this amount of people is going to be coming from the wedding itself, then Jews people. And then I was like, well, my neighbor, and I'm like, I know there will be some people that come for that. Like, and I'm like, I didn't even invite, like I could have invited some more people.
I mean, he threw quite a shindig, and honestly, I have no complaints, except for I didn't get to eat all of my wings.
And that makes two of us. I didn't get to have any. They were all.
You eat those wings that I got?
I ate none. But I was hosting, so like I was downstairs. I was doing a lot.
Yeah, you were hosting. You want to talk a little Jimmy Butler?
Yeah, we got to talk a little bit of butt. Is it playoffs without playoff butt? And how the Celtics are giving up that playoff butt? Oh, you're frozen again. You actually look kind of sweet in this one. Hold on. All right, now you're back. Nope, you're frozen again. Lee, what is this? You need to complain to AT&T. All right, there you go. You're back.
Bro, I don't even know what's going on. Like,
could you hear me?
I heard you say something about AT&T, and I heard you say, "Oh,
yeah." I was like, yeah. I was like, you need to complain to AT&T. You're good though now.
Yeah, I'm going to. Well, Celtics lost game 1. Jimmy Butler had 35 points and 6 steals. He did what Jimmy does. He was playoff Jimmy. Celtics were up, and then at half, and then the Heat went on like a crazy run, and Jason Tatum's been catching hell because he doesn't have a registered shot in the fourth quarter. He got fouled 3 times. He took 6 free throws. So those were shots that he was trying to take.
That goddamn over.
But he traveled twice.
He did in very crucial points in the game.
And I'm going to be honest with you. I play pickup basketball. I can't remember the last time I traveled.
Well, the last time you saw one player doing it, but 2 different acts in one game of traveling. And people like being like, oh, that's a travel.
Yeah, and it's just like, bro, you got called for an NBA travel as a superstar.
In an important-ass game at home.
Yeah, my nigga, you walk, like, you know, in high school ball, you traveled like twice each time you did that.
Do you know what Barkley said after the game about them in their home court? Their last
11-11 in their last 22 playoff home court games.
How wild is that? If you're an elite team, he was absolutely right, though. Do elite teams really go 500 at home? No, they don't. So, and that's why Kenny, even when he asked Kenny, he's like, "Yo, when was the last time y'all like remember being a team that's a favorite to kind of win it all, and like you weren't taking care of business at home?" And he's like, "Yeah, one dude had like a game, like a 50 ball, like 40 game, like one of these games where he was out of his mind type thing. Like we did all we could do. He just was on another planet today."
Did you listen to Shaq break down like the finals when they actually got beat by the Rockets? He's like, yeah, game one. Kenny hit like 8 threes.
Shit. I'm sorry. I'm getting really close.
No, I see your hockey in the background, and I know that it's very important to you. And I know it could change your feelings as well.
So I'm sorry if I'm looking over in England that's listening. I don't want to make everybody be like, man, is he having a seizure or something? No,
he's not. But look here. While he's looking at that, I'll talk about this. Jimmy Butler is made of the right stuff. Jimmy Butler is one of my favorite players in the NBA. Honestly, I believe if Jimmy Butler played for the Lakers today, the Lakers win the game because Jimmy Butler is gonna do the right shit. Right, 6 steals.
You froze again, Lee.
I don't know, bro. Yeah,
you froze at 6 steals. I heard you.
Yeah, I stopped talking to though. I saw that it froze, but I'm like, yeah, 6 steals. It was nothing but effort. 35 points. The way Jimmy gets his 35, it's effort. Yeah. All I'm saying is Jimmy Butler may not do it in a way that's pretty to the basketball aficionados, the basketball purists. Jimmy Butler may not do it as consistently as enough as the media likes for it to happen. Jimmy Butler may be an asshole, and you people say, oh, yeah, Philly did the right thing to move off of him. Minnesota did the right thing to move off of him. All I'm saying is since he's been in Miami, they go to the Eastern Conference Finals or the Finals, and Jimmy's a common denominator.
He's the leader of the team. He is the energy of the team. He's the heartbeat of the team.
And he gets buckets. He gets fucking fuck off. Like he does all the intangible shit. But he'll also go give you a 50 ball if you need it. He'll give you a 40 ball if you need it.
Well,
he don't score no bitch ass, pussy ass. Oh wow, sorry. Excuse me. He don't give you no like, oh yeah, he dominated the game, but he had 22. LeBron.
We don't know about a Jimmy Butler with 15 tonight and the Heat still win. We don't know anything about that because that don't happen. Whenever the Heat, you're frozen again. Nope, you're back. Whenever the Heat have a game, there's not a Jimmy had 15 and the Heat still won. No, he's the one putting it together. He's not only mixing the drink, he's the substance in the drink. You know, the team's the glass at that point. They're just holding it together.
He's the vodka and the Red Bull.
Exactly. And the team is the glass. And I guess Spo and Pat are the bartender. I don't know. But
and the wild thing about it is his usage rate definitely goes up, but he still shares the ball in a way that the offense flows without him dominating the ball in an isolation way, in the same way that like a James Harden does or Russell Westbrook does, even a Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown. Like Jimmy doesn't over dribble.
No, it's weird because Jimmy's like a shooting guard, small forward.
/ point.
But right.
Small forward.
But he's really more of a shooting guard anyway. He's really not a small forward. He's like a shooting guard. But like he plays bigger than even his stature. He's not a short man, or a small man at that. But like he really does play bigger than he plays with a chip on his shoulder. Like
wouldn't you play with a chip on your shoulder if you got kicked out of the house at 16 and then went to JUCO and then went to Marquette, then got drafted the back end of the first round, sat on the bench for a little while, and then finally became him?
I would. I think that Jimmy plays with a fire that, like, I saw the comparison in the group to Kobe. It's really its own thing. Like, Kobe's was different. And I'm not saying that Jimmy's is not even better in terms of fire. They're just different fires. They're similar in terms of, like, the determination, but they're just different mentality. Like, the quote unquote mama mentality is just different. Like, Kobe just kind of was like, Kobe was speaking fucking other languages to players on the floor. Like, bro, that's a whole different dynamic in playing basketball. When you're talking to them in another language, bro, that's a different thing. And you're the best.
Yeah, but that speaks to a skill set that he had before he showed up. He didn't develop that skill set in order to people's heads. But hold on. I will say that Jimmy is the closest thing to a true Mamba mentality.
Will and determination.
Playoff Jimmy is the closest thing to a Mamba mentality. And I don't even like to give it to a Mamba mentality because the Mamba mentality is a spinoff of what Michael Jordan was. And I feel like Jimmy should be credited more so to Michael Jordan, the originator of it. Because Devin Booker, Jason Tatum, the people that y'all compare to Kobe, they're not built like that.
They're not.
They have taken pieces of Kobe's game and added to their games, and you can see it. And it's great. But they grew up to privilege, man. They ain't. I don't mean literally privilege. I mean in the sense of they don't have the fire and the that Kobe got.
Like, right. It's not about even growing up privilege because Kobe.
Kobe.
Yeah, right.
And here's a good spinoff, right? Kobe had the same wannabe. What Tupac said, she want to be a thug. Kobe had that same shit just like Ja had, right? Ja applies his off the court. Kobe applied his on the court, right? Kobe wanted to be like this tough guy. Kobe wasn't tough. Kobe didn't get credit. No. Kobe didn't get respect.
What do you mean by tough? Like,
I'll beat your ass. I'll beat your ass if you talk to me crazy tough.
You're right. Because Kobe was, I tore my Achilles and I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna make these free throws.
Yeah. That's
and this is the end of my prime, as we all know it. And I know it is because I just tore my fucking Achilles and I'm 34.
Yeah, I think it was correct.
Kobe's toughness was, you're right, it was totally different from that.
But
he wasn't Rasheed Wallace tough. He wasn't Kevin Garnett tough. No,
but young Kobe,
they respected the fuck out of him because when Rondo tried to get up in his shit, KG and Paul Pierce were even like, hey, like basically, stop it. This the league. You nigga, now you talking to the league. Like, because LeBron not that tough either.
We're not.
Yeah, I know. I'm not comparing. I'm just saying. He ain't like that either. So, what's the point?
Here's the thing. Young Kobe tried to be a tough guy.
Tried?
Read 3 Ring Circus. And I mean like tough guy, like a nah, bro. Y'all ain't gonna fuck with me. I ain't on that none of that shit. Like, nigga, I heard the Brian McKnight song. I actually heard it yesterday. It was terrible.
It's awful. He's not a rapper. I tell you, Shaq got that on him. Shaq on "You Can't Stop the Rain" is like with Biggie.
You can't stop the rain.
Bro, that's like a classic rap song.
Yeah, bro.
Shaq
can rap. Like he
can't
rap.
No, look.
Like Shaq can't rap for a basketball player. Shaq can actually rap, but the thing is, Dame can rap too.
I'm not saying he can't, but Shaq's got a bigger hit in my mind.
Well, yes. Like the way that
Kobe, Michael Jackson's album, people don't realize that.
Yeah, bro. No, Shaq was him.
Yeah.
Shaq showed all these niggas how to get a brand.
Shaq was Michael Jackson's album.
But no, the way Kobe got pieced up by Chris Childs, right? Kobe didn't get to be hard, quote unquote, until he was the OG. While he was the young boy, it's like, come on, bro. We know you ain't that. We know you ain't that. And similar to what Ja is trying to do and Ja's trying to be in the way that he's trying to find himself. I'm not saying Ja is trying to be the player that Kobe is or going to be the player that Kobe is. I'm not comparing the players. But I'm talking about two guys who did not fit into a locker room in a way that people would expect them to. Kobe's transition was way more difficult than Ja's, but obviously there is identity crisis and personalities that they're looking for within themselves.
And we were younger too, but did you think even at the time that Kobe had like an identity crisis?
After reading books on it, yes. I didn't think it when I was younger because I didn't know, but like after reading about it,
I think that he was such an off the league type dude.
I'm telling you, Kobe struggled to find himself, be comfortable with the person that he was until the accolades came in, the respect came in for him as a basketball player, and he got to create the environment more so than fit into the environment. One of Kobe's best friends in the league is Caron Butler. That makes absolutely no sense.
It does. Well, one, they did play together, but then two,
I mean, you're gonna defend him all. You're gonna defend him.
Really, someone who's a veteran, like a veteran, like dude. Like
I just know you're gonna defend him at all costs, but the fact that Kobe's not close with any other superstars,
he was always off that. But it felt that way, anyways. He felt so untouchable.
Well, no, it wasn't.
It made so much sense. He really was like the best player in the league.
No, that has nothing. That has nothing to. I honestly think that has nothing to do with it. It comes from the way he came in. No, it comes from the way that he came into the league, where people didn't fuck with him.
Yeah, because think about it. He was the second high school player drafted out of the league. KG went the year before.
Probably top. No. Before you start defending him, let's be real.
I'm just telling the facts.
Yeah. Your facts are in his defense. If you at the age of 25, you're doing really well. Somebody shows up who's like, hey, I'm trying to be the next MJ. You've been busting his ass in practice already. And then he don't hang out with the guys. Well, when we go to the club, he can't come because he's too young. But all the other shit we doing, he ain't with it. I'm not gonna fuck with you either.
His dad in the league though too. Like these are like things that matter.
Maybe, but like there was a story. Like there's a story where he introduced.
Why couldn't he have just looked at his dad and been like, noted type shit? I don't know. Like I'm just saying,
well, there's a story.
Not everybody's like that shit though.
Well, in Jeff Pearlman's book, Three Ring Circus, right? There's a story where he introduced himself as a rookie. All the guys introduced himself, and he's just like, I'm a bad motherfucker, some shit like that. And niggas are like, all right, bro. What's your name? What you about? You know what I mean?
Name though.
But he did. Kobe did. Hold on. I'm not gonna let you defend this shit because I know you love it.
I'm just simply telling the truth.
He did a lot of shit to alienate himself from people before he was elite and able to do it. And when he finally became elite, it became acceptable only because
he lived up to his billing. If not, obviously
he got drafted 13th overall. He didn't live up to his billing. He surpassed his billing. He didn't have billing.
Van Canty.
He did not live up to his billing. I'm saying as a high school player, and because nobody said Kobe's the next Jordan. Like nobody said that like they did with
Only
LeBron.
Kobe said he was the next Jordan. He fell short.
Well, Jordan respected it and thought enough to think that, man, he reminds me of me. And even in The Last Dance, of course, early, we're talking 1998 before Kobe did accomplish something, and he was only 19. He's like that Kobe kid. And he's like, and even in prior, like later interviews, he's like, and Jordan obviously spoke at his funeral and stuff, but like he gushed over him because he was just like, man, not only does this motherfucker want to be me, but like honestly, he reminds me the most of me. Like, and I'm not saying that Kobe's overall thing was, man, I want to be Michael Jordan. I don't think that was Kobe's plan. I just think that Kobe,
That was his plan, though.
Kobe, but I feel like Kobe had such a much more unique introduction to basketball than Michael Jordan. Not because his dad played in the league, but he lived overseas for a long time. But then he was really, and he's from the Northeast, I guess. But
he wants to be Michael Jordan. He wants to be Michael Jordan. We're not gonna do a long segment on Kobe. I tried to turn this identity crisis into Ja Morant, but I forget I can't talk about Kobe or Matt Ryan with you because you're gonna gush over your guys.
That's not true. I'm trying to gush over a Carolina Hurricane goal.
Well, let's have a real Ja Morant conversation. I don't want to do. Here's what I'll tell you. I think Ja Morant, what he did was stupid. I think after that meeting he had with Adam Silver told him, here's what we expect from you. And here's what'll happen if you fall short of that. And I'm not telling you that you can't do it. I'm telling you I don't want to see it. And Ja is playing with the pistol in the video, and people say, well, it was his friend's video. I go, hey, dog, playing with a pistol in the video is always stupid. Playing with guns is always stupid. Now, he's 23, 24, and he's going to do dumb shit. I understand it. And I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, I would never do that.
Right. And we can't place ourselves in that mindset at that age. Now, granted, it's funny. In our group, of course, a photo was brought up that
but I'm 31 with a concealed carry permit.
But now this is a photo that I'm in it too, and I have a gun. And hell, it's on my page, I think. So my thing is that it is stupid when you think about it, because you're just kind of inviting trouble. Or even if you're not inviting it, just the idea of you want this reputation around you of, yep, I'm always strapped, or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
That'd be like having money and telling people I have money. Most people have guns if they want to protect themselves because it's our right. That's the Second Amendment in the United States specifically. But at the same time, my job also isn't asking me to not be on social media with it after I've already done it. And that's where the issue for me comes in. I understood JJ Redick spew, Stacks is a fucking flip-flopper. He really is. He might be the biggest flip-flopper ever.
I don't listen to him.
He called him a moron, and then the next day was like, it's cool when they do it, and put up a picture of Chris Kaman in fucking hunting gear at his house, and then at a hunting range, and then in a gun store with a gun. And it's just bro, that's ridiculous. No, he didn't do anything illegal. I get Ja didn't do nothing illegal if it's his gun, but you literally have already had problems with this. So why are you doing it? Clearly the league doesn't want you doing it. So why are you doing it?
Parlay Pete. Here's another thing. This could be my bias. This could be me being racially insensitive. But a guy taking a picture with his hunting guns versus a guy taking a picture with a gun for self-defense, it resonates differently.
They're two different things. They are two different things.
If I got my fucking rifle, right, my 22, my 30-06, you know what I mean, or my 12 gauge, and I got on some mossy oak, you go, oh, that nigga going hunting. But if I throw on shit, this ain't fit I got on, right, and I just had my Glock 40 that I own, just sitting here in the video right now. I got to sit up here the whole time. I go, What he on? What? He try to let nigga know he's strapped.
If a country song said, let's say Chris Kaman was in his car, no hunting gear, he's wearing like whatever. And now, granted, rifles are totally different than fucking Glocks and goddamn semi. Like they're different guns too.
Yeah.
But let's say that Chris Kaman was in a car and the country song read out, "We knocking down the cans like it's a Friday night," and he's flashing a gun. I don't know what job they were listening to. Maybe there's some young boy.
It was young boy.
Whatever these young niggas listen to, but like at the same time,
Kwame Brown called him NBA dumb boy.
That's a good one. I thought John Moran was like a really good one, but like either way, point being, that threw me off. NBA dumb boy. That's actually a really good one.
Nah, John Morant's trying to be Ja Rule. Murder.
But either way, I think that like, yeah, Chris Kaman could do something like that, right? And maybe, first of all, social media wasn't as relevant when he was playing. Let's start there. Like that is a big piece of this too, is social media. And nobody had that issue. That'd be like, check this out. All right. And this is so hypothetical. And I know it's the NFL versus the NBA, but like if Michael Vick even was around dog fighting and he got off, like he was never found guilty of it. He was the quarterback of the Falcons. And the league like warned him and he got 6 games. If this motherfucker in the next all season was around some dogs and like
hanging,
he had a dog out and it was being vicious towards another dog and he was kind of okay with it. Like nobody, I know it's totally different, but I'm just saying like,
it's not.
He just got in trouble over this though. Like, why are you out in public with the dog that we live with? Like, it's my thing. That's all I'm saying.
Probably, Pete, here's what these people don't understand: optics matter.
Exactly.
Even if the optics are wrong, even if the optics are unfair, the optics matter. And guess what the NBA gets to do? Guess what Nike gets to do? They get to say, "Hey, I pay you. I don't like how you're representing me. Change it."
And more importantly, our sponsors don't like the way that you're representing
exactly
either, because they're the ones that pay us.
And
Disney doesn't like this because Disney, we're on ESPN and ABC. The finals are on ABC. ESPN gets pretty much half the primetime games. TNT gets the other half. They're not okay with that. They're like, "Ja, you ever seen The Lion King?" They're like, "You know the point of the movie? To get kids to fucking come in and buy the merch and see them on Disney on Ice. Not Hakuna Matata, motherfucker. Like, you might have got fooled when you were younger, but it was to get your mom to take you to see it and to buy the VHS, because we're in the profit of making money and it being kid-friendly."
Right. And here's the thing. Probably.
They just look at them.
Probably, here's the thing. JJ Redick.
FedEx Forum, they're like, "Hey, man, we're about getting packages delivered, not trying to bring heat to niggas. We not about that." But that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like, those are the sponsors. Oh, you froze again. And I'm going to take another picture. Damn it.
I'm calling AT&T in the morning. I'm calling AT&T. Hey, can I talk to JJ Redick real quick, please?
Go for it.
Hey, JJ. No, you're about to get a coaching job that you probably don't deserve, even though you're probably good enough to have that job, and you're probably a great coach. I'm a huge fan, JJ Redick. I actually am. Huge fan. Been a huge fan since you were at Duke. I'm one of the few black.
Really?
I'm a Duke fan.
You and Justice both. Justice used to suck him off. I was an Adam Morrison guy, but I was a Georgetown fan growing up. I like Jeff Green and Roy Hibbert, maybe.
Fair. I was a huge JJ Redick fan. But let me talk to JJ Redick real quick. When you talk about the politicians in Tennessee posting their guns, let me tell you who those politicians don't work for. ABC, Disney, Nike, NBA. Powerade.
The state of Connecticut.
These people, like Ja works for. Ja is paid. Fuck working for. Ja's paid by companies who want to be on the left side of issues. His politician is on the right side of issues. And his politicians' constituents support him being on the right side of issues. And I mean right ideologically and politically, not right and wrong, right? But the guys who pay Ja, they're not on that side. If you look at what just happened in Florida, Disney was working on $1 billion+ project in Florida. They've been fighting with DeSantis. DeSantis signed some shit, and they said nope.
They're like, Hulk, who goes there?
Yeah, hold on. We don't like the laws you're making in this state. We're not gonna bring you more money because we don't. Nah, hell no. Nah. We want you to make laws the way we want them to be made. Nah, bro, you ain't fucking with us.
Now, I
So
know that
JJ, hold on. So JJ, when you try to make that terrible comparison, you were cooking when you said, "Nah, don't give him 40 games," because Mad Dog is an old racist. Hey, get that old nigga off TV. You know what? I don't want to hear nothing that Mad Dog Russo has to say because it's always wrong. Mad Dog Russo is poor Skip Bayless. Okay, he is New York. He's not poor.
old New York radio.
He's old New York radio Skip Bayless. They look alike. They say the same dumb shit. I don't think Skip is racist, by the way. But Mad Dog Russo.
But go ahead.
Mad Dog Russo is as disillusioned and disenfranchised from the people that he talks about as anybody else. But no, dog. Don't compare Ja to the politicians because guess what? NBA players have more influence on the kids than the politicians. That's why LeBron told us to vote for Hillary. And y'all dumbass niggas listened.
Well, but Stack over here is bringing up Chris Kaman, a unpopular player that actually was a pretty decent pro for a long time. But
who gives a fuck what Stack says? Stack was on O Block. Stack was on O Block and said, yeah, bro, I'm out here on O Block. Hey, dog, you're 40. Go stay at the Four Seasons in Chicago, bro. What the fuck you doing on O Block?
Cuz, man, he wants to know.
Nigga, buy O Block. Bro. Stack, bro. This nigga Stack got to shooting at a club and went up in the stands and got to fighting fans and want to say, hey, bro, I did what I did. And that, yeah, bro, and that's why you were 18 point per game, nigga, who couldn't stay on the fucking team.
Well, in his best year, he was an 18 point per game, nigga.
No, his career average. His career average.
Really? Let me look it up.
Look it up. No, Stack was fucking good.
Well, I remember when he played here. Like, I remember when he was a Hawk. But most people don't even remember that nigga played for the Hawks for like a year and a half, 2 years.
Bro, you know his kids are here. You know his kids are in Atlanta, right?
He played here. I'm saying he immediately after San Antonio, he played here. So that makes sense.
Check his career average. 18 a game.
And his first big year was here. I'm looking at it. He played in New Jersey and San Antonio for 2 years. He averaged his first 18, his biggest scoring year to start was with us when he made the jump. But, okay, he was a 20-point guy with Golden State. Goddamn, really?
Bro, nigga, Stack was good. Niggas just did one on their team.
Not an 18-point guy.
What's the career average?
15. Still pretty good. That's really good, I think. For a guy, like, because we know what type of player he was. So, like, he was more of a defender and enforcer anyway. Like, he wasn't like this. He was more of a.
Thank you for correcting me, by the way.
I don't think about him as a scorer to begin with, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
You don't think of him as the nigga who averaged 15 for his career. You think that he averaged like 10.
He played with Pop in the Spurs, too. I mean, like, he won a title with Pop. So, like, he has had, like, you know, that. But it's so funny because before he went to Indiana, he played with us. And, like, because if you know how he got here, right?
Well, he came from where? Golden State?
San Antonio. Who did the Hawks trade with San Antonio?
Boris Diaw?
Yes, sir. Boris Diaw was a member of that trade. And
I mean, I'm just looking at his
But
numbers.
gosh, his Golden State numbers were his best years.
Bro, I'm just looking at his numbers at
He was on that Golden. But
yeah,
that
we
team
believe
was
team.
Matt Barnes. That team was. It's so funny. The We Believe Warriors, like
a bunch of
misfit
basketball
kind of
players.
like Baron Davis was really good in Charlotte, and somehow ended up being. I mean, he was the best player on that team, but they were not good. But Petrus was like a rookie at one. Like
Hey,
that team.
I'll tell you, we're at an hour right.
A bunch of dudes on that team.
Just a heads up, we're at an hour right now, and we're at an hour right now. I know we want to close out basketball to some degree, but I know we got a couple more things to hit. Doc getting fired. How much do you want to give attention to that?
We can give it about 3 minutes.
So we still got to talk about Wemby.
At the end of the day, okay, Doc. At the end of the day, none of us were surprised. If Doc had won the game, he would have saved his job just because of what Philly had done. Prior to this playoff run, the 4 prior ones, second round exits, but he did the same exact thing that Brent Brown did. And so nobody is surprised. That's kind of been Doc's MO outside of, the Celtics championship and the Celtics runner-up year against the Lakers. But that's been Doc's MO. I mean, since then, that's almost a decade. It has been a decade, but almost a decade, over a decade.
He hasn't been to the Eastern Conference. He hasn't been to a conference final since 2012 when Braun did him dirty. Last in Boston.
It's been over a decade since he's even been in. And that was what the last leg of that Celtics team. The last leg. Lee?
AT&T is getting an earful for me in the morning. I'm just letting you know. But how much do we blame Doc, or do we just blame the Sixers? I know I've come in here and I said the process was over 2 years ago, and I talked about how they botched it, how they drafted. They drafted what's my man's name? They drafted Ben Simmons over Brandon Ingram and Jaylen Brown. They traded back. They traded up, excuse me.
Jason Tatum.
Yeah, they traded up to draft Markelle Fultz.
Over Jason Tatum.
Tatum.
We wanted to take him on anyways.
Yeah, bro, you could have had B.I., Tatum, Duke boys, and Embiid, and that been your guys. Honestly, you could have drafted Giannis in that draft because you were in a long-term process. Let's figure out what works. You threw shit at the wall and you said Nerlens Noel instead of Giannis. You know what I mean?
But
I'm not gonna beat you up too much for not taking Giannis because nobody knew what the fuck he was gonna be.
Yeah. Oh shit! You're frozen again.
Yeah, I missed so many draft picks. You got a terrible culture going on over there, and you're gonna blame the coach when I'm not saying that you don't fire Doc because Doc's in-game adjustments are fucking terrible, and Montrezl Harrell played all throughout the season, but he didn't see any time in the playoffs. Shake Milton played all throughout the season. You didn't see him in the playoffs. I ain't talking about all that shit, but it's is Doc the real problem in Philly, or is it an ownership down problem?
Well, I hope not, because one of their owners just bought the Commanders. So,
and they're gonna fucking
the majority. I don't know if he's the majority. I know Ruben's got a piece, but I don't know who the majority is. But either way, he owns a piece of the Devils, and now he would be the majority of the football team. So I have to imagine he probably owns a majority of the Sixers. Maybe it could be, but
no, he's the guy in charge.
Look at it this way: Doc's history speaks for itself, and at the end of the day, that's why it was easy for me as a bettor to bet against them both nights, because I took Boston in Game 6 money line because they were minus like 130, and then I took them on the spread. Yes, I took them on the spread. The spread was 7. I took them on the spread because I said the Sixers didn't win game 6. That was the closeout game. Either they were going to win that game or they were going to get blown out like they did in game 7. So I think we can mix it up with that. I mean, Brett Brown was kind of the problem, right? Like that was like a big thing.
Yeah,
like,
Brett Brown
Brett
was
Brown's like an issue. And so, I mean, you can go a lot of different ways with it, but I think that when we ultimately look at the last 5 years of the Sixers, the players still need to be held accountable. Harden and Embiid didn't show up, but Doc certainly had to get fired. There was just no way you could bring that back out and convince your fans that you were trying to win because you haven't done it. You're doing the same thing.
Well, maybe you can't trot Joel Embiid out there and convince your fans you're trying to win too.
Hey, and here's the better part too. There's actually a list of coaches that have done it. I know that Doc's done it, but like that have done it with less than what Doc's even had to deal with over the last decade. The Clippers and the Sixers teams have been uber talented, and there are coaches out there that have done it with less talent that have won that are available in reality. So, like, that's the positive of firing Doc. There are coaches out there that if Embiid, if Harden stays, or if they want to shake things up and make a trade, like they're not going to trade Embiid, and if Harden resigns, of course he's not getting traded. Nobody's going to pay a lot for Tobias Harris, but you can get something for Maxey where it's like pieces. Like
I would keep
not like two really solid, like the Hawks. Well, we have 2 guards, but like
no, fuck that. I wouldn't trade Maxey. I would trade Tobias.
I'm saying though, no, I agree with you, but I'm saying that Tobias is not going to fetch what Maxey would. You got to trade something with value because you need to get value. So like,
but hold on.
What would you think if the Warriors sent Poole for Maxey, but then they also got Kuminga in a first-round pick? Does that make the Sixers better? I'm curious. A change of scenery for Poole, but just about the same kind of player, but then you get Kuminga and a pick.
I don't even care about the pick.
Work?
I don't even care about the pick. Just send me.
Does that work?
Yeah, I would do that. So, yeah.
I would too. So I'm just saying it's got to be like one of those type of deals.
Well,
because he's got PJ Tucker still, I guess. But like,
here's the thing:
he played big in games. He actually had a good game. Like
James Harden got Doc fired. He said he's not coming back if Doc comes back. Harden's not coming back anyways because he doesn't want to play with Embiid in a way that they want him to play with Embiid.
I think Morey got him. I mean, Morey didn't want him, which I guess Harden's more their guys, but like, oh, you're frozen. Fuck.
Bro, this is media combat. But no, I think James Harden sees Embiid for what he truly is. A lazy fuck who's never going to be good enough when it's time to be great. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
James Harden knows what right looks like. Whether it's his OKC team that played 6 games against LeBron's Heat.
So young. 5. It looks like 5.
5, sorry. But even his Rockets team, they got beat by the Warriors.
That were up 3-2, and then Chris Paul went down.
Yeah, but that shows you what right looks like. And
yeah, he knows what a potential championship team looks like.
And that team that lost in the Western Conference Finals is better than the 2019 Toronto team that won a championship. His team is better than that team. They won't be remembered better than that team.
Well, it's because
but no, his team full go would have beat the Warriors that we thought were unstoppable.
They were the best offense in the NBA that see, even as good as the Warriors are, you could argue that Rockets offense was the best offense in the league. But that's because, oh, you're frozen. Fuck. You could argue that Rockets team Like it looks like he texted AT&T now. Fucking Fiverr or Google, I mean. But nonetheless, that offense was arguably the best in the league. They won 60 games that year too.
And that's the point that I'm making. Like that team was really fucking good, and they outplayed a team that we said, "No, you can't beat them." And when Kawhi beat them, you had no KD, you had no Clay, and I mean we're step 3 from going to a game 7.
Harden was also in like his Kobe. If we want to talk about number wise, like his Kobe zone, he was doing it that year. That year, it was like Kobe. If not, you could argue maybe even historically greater than. I mean, he averaged 36.
Hour 10, we still got to hit Wemby.
Huh?
Hour 10, we still got to hit Wemby.
Okay. I'll end my thoughts on this.
Okay.
30s. He averaged 36 a game that year, and he had what Kobe tried to get before David Stern wanted to fuck the whole league up with Chris Paul. So that would be the closest to a ridiculous score and a still kind of prime, more injured Chris Paul, but same type of player, kind of older Chris Paul, but like still prime Chris Paul. He got to play with him, and he averaged 36, and that's why it was almost still successful even against that Warriors team. So in closing, I guess what I'm saying is that, it sucks that with Harden, it didn't work, but like, I don't think there are just certain guys destined to never win titles. It's him. And Embiid looks like it. Like, there's certain guys that just have it and don't. And I wish the Sixers had just kept Jimmy Butler, because if they did and Tobias Harris wasn't there, the Sixers would have won a title. Are you frozen? Fuck. The Sixers would have won a title with Jimmy Butler as opposed to
they probably would have won that bubble title.
They would have won at least one. Even with Ben Simmons, they would have still won one.
I agree. And so I told you James Harden to the Suns a long time ago. Let's see how that works out. Last thing as we close out basketball, the Spurs get the number 1 overall pick, Victor Wembanyama. And I just want to spend some time talking about Wemby. But because Woj has been out here really just putting his dick on the table. I'm like, Woj, you're an insider. I don't think you're a talent evaluator. I've never said, what does Woj think about this? I will say, what does Woj know about this topic? But I never care about Woj's opinion. I care about the facts in which he delivers to us, because he gets them first. Unless it's about like a real nigga, and then it comes from Chris Haynes or Shams. But nonetheless, Woj is top NBA insider. He refers to Wemby as possibly one of the best prospects in team sport. Never will I be like, hey, this Euro is going to be the guy, until he proves it. Wemby, he's a Euro. I am doing the same thing I've done with every other fucking Euro. Buddy, prove it to me. But more importantly, this man is like 7'5", $195. With every other great American prospect that turned into the actual person within their career who we thought they would be, they had the talent and the body. LeBron was 6'8", 230 coming out of high school. You know what I mean? 240 coming out of high school. And his weight has fluctuated from 250 to 275 down to 260. Like he's been a big motherfucker his whole career. Shaq was a big 7 foot, 300 pound nigga. John Elway, a 6'4", 220, 230 prototype quarterback. Trevor Lawrence, 6'6", 220, 230 prototype quarterback. Andrew Luck, prototype size. We've never had somebody with anomaly size get put into the same category. He has the skill set. Now, if you look at his 3-point percentage this past season, it hasn't been great. Free throw percentage good, but his 3-point percentage has been like in the 20s. So can he shoot the three? Does he have a stroke? Yes. But he's not going to be offensive rookie of the year. I can promise you that. Shit, he might have a Chet season. Minor injury sits him down. Like, I don't think you understand. His body, his frame is not a frame that says, hey, I believe in you and what you're going to be. His talent.
Oh, hold on. Historically, no. Oh, shit. Fuck.
That nigga over 7'2" who did it, who lasted.
Historically, it doesn't fit. But, like, and I get it. He's taller than KD, but I feel like he gets more comparisons now because of the offensive game. But even like the way that that he's been talked about to where, and I put this in the group earlier, where he was more. I mean, he's a mystery to me too. Shit, I ain't outside of those. They played the Ignite on ESPN on back-to-back games, and he had 36 and 37. And that's still against the top G League talent, including the nigga that's going to go second to him. So I'm just saying he had these monster games against them too. It ain't like, and I'm not trying to be funny, his teammates weren't as good as Scoot Henderson's teammates. And he still kind of did this. And it's like, he has not had a major injury. And I get it. I guess maybe KD probably never did. I don't know if Chet ever had either before they got to the league. I mean, I'm sure Greg Oden didn't either, kind of like in high school, because that would have scared people away from him. Like they're not the same body frame, but I'm just looking at number one picks that are tall as shit. Ralph Sampson was somebody that was really tall, that was not a bad pro statistically. Obviously, Michael Jordan. Like, I mean, you know, the guy selected that he was selected in between. What it is, they just are so much better than him to where it's just like, how did you miss? But even a guy like Bobby Knight, just a side story, was like Michael Jordan was the best basketball player he ever saw. And that was when Bobby Knight was the best coaching, where he was fucking John Calipari. And it's on record, literally, that he said. Hubert Davis also, hey, fun fact, Hubert Davis also in LeBron's second season, like the season opener, said that he was going to break the score. Some guys have had some really good takes, is what I'm saying. And, Skip Bayless, I'm sorry, and I'll have to send you the video. Skip Bayless, the year that the Warriors went 73-9, he was like, I think they can win 73 games. And they literally did. But we're not on that. We're on Victor Wemby. And I think that this is what I'll say. This is what's going to help him. I love the idea of him going to the Spurs. I don't know how long Pop's going to coach, but the way that they're set up, they got a ton of picks from us. They have picks from other teams. Keldon Johnson is a good player. He's not like an all-star or nothing, but that's okay. He gets to go to a team where he can kind of be the best player, and we know he's the best player. If he went to Charlotte, he wasn't going to be considered the best player, even if he had the highest ceiling. LaMelo is still the best player on the team when he gets there.
Yep.
If he went to Houston, he would have been the best player. But, like, that's a dysfunctional fucking, like this dysfunctional.
Yeah.
And Ime, coming off what he had, although a good coach, clearly a dysfunctional individual. Portland, Dame's the best player on the team. So, like I think that this is a good fit. He gets to play with the best coach ever. Tony Parker, obviously. There's the tie to the best French basketball player ever playing there. Boris Diaw, of course. So, like, there's a lot to like about it. And it's low-key. Like, the media won't be all up in his face there or anything. It's a one-trick pony town. They only have basketball there. That's it.
Riverwalk. No, I
don't know. I mean, but who the fuck cares?
No, here's the thing. I think he's going to the right place. I just think we need to temper expectations. Like, I listened to the Chris Broussard post, or the Chris Broussard take, where he was like, if he's Hakeem or KD, his career is a disappointment, right? Hold on.
And you told me there's a whole video to have the
but let me tell you,
is a bad quote.
No, it's not, because he was saying, like, if y'all are projecting him to be one of the best prospects ever, pretty much his career needs to be LeBron, Kareem, MJ. Because if you're saying he's that type of prospect, then he needs to project to that. So even if he's one of the greatest ever, a top 20 player, his career is now a disappointment because of the way that y'all are projecting him. And again, that's not a take that I would put out there, but I also don't work for a network and make millions of dollars or $1 million to, like, say shit to get them ad revenue. But I'm not mad at Broussard's take, because we got Woj on here saying he may be the best prospect of any pro athlete. And Dame had a great tweet. He was like, bruh, y'all acting like LeBron ain't who he is. Like, I was in middle school when y'all was on him, and he's still doing it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, can we just respect the great prospects? And I understand what he can project to be, but do we actually think? Let's just go from 03, right? Do we think it's going to be better than LeBron? Do we think it's going to be better than Kevin Durant? Do we think it's going to be better than Anthony Davis?
Zion.
Do we think it's going to be better than Fat Ass Zion? Shit, do we think he's going to be better than Ant-Man? You know what I'm saying? Like, do we really think, like, do we think he's going to be better than these people? If not, I don't want to hear how he is as a prospect, because at the end of the day, prospects don't keep GM's jobs. Prospects don't keep head coaches' jobs. Prospects don't win championships. Players do. What the fuck kind of player is he going to be?
I think because he's an international player too.
You got to give him a little bit more.
There's been like one international player that everybody gushed over.
Luka.
No, because he didn't even go one. Not consensusly. Yao Ming was like the most consensus number one foreign player ever. And that's because, too, if you remember, Yao Ming was the year before LeBron. So, like, Yao Ming, as I remember it, just like during that LeBron era, as I remember it, there's a 7'6" center. And you know what's so funny about Yao Ming?
They put him in the Hall of Fame?
No, because he had a career in China before, too, and it's a basketball Hall of Fame, not the NBA Hall of Fame. And, of course, what he did for the league. But my point is like, Yao Ming also, like, was 7'6", but, like, Yao Ming was also making, like, 18-foot jump shots. Like, people be forgetting. Like, Yao Ming, when he was healthy, actually could play. He wasn't just tall as fuck. Like, he really could play.
He wasn't Sean Bradley.
What? He wasn't Sean Bradley. And so, international prospects don't get this much hype. He is. And he's also a freak for today's NBA. The hype, what Woj said is ridiculous. I don't like, and what Broussard said in that quote is ridiculous. I think we're in a social media age, and LeBron wasn't, and so his hype isn't. We all remember because we were alive, like, and that shit wasn't covered the way it was. Fuck social media. ESPN covered LeBron, but LeBron was not always on ESPN either. Like, this dude's a story on First Take every day now.
Bro, I am so tired of hearing people who don't evaluate talent tell me about Victor Wembanyama. You haven't watched him enough. I don't have an opinion on his game because I'm going to wait till he gets to the NBA when I watch him. I'm just saying, stop giving him so much hype. Don't give him these.
You frozen.
Let him be who he is. But we've talked enough basketball. We're at almost an hour and a half. Let's talk a little football. Hour 2 of AC Lee and Parlay P podcast. We're going to talk a little bit of football, ain't we?
A little bit.
We are all here to do what Falcons do. Look at that!
I'll tell you what. There's a conversation I want to have on here that's kind of floating to the national conversation about our Falcons, but we're not going to have it because we've talked enough about your favorite players. But
no, we have to talk about that too. We can do it briefly at the end of the Falcon first segment.
Yeah, we're going to do it at the end of the Falcons.
We do. No, we have to talk about it.
Schedule's been released. Go ahead and pull it up. We got a pretty easy schedule this year.
Yeah, according to the league, it's the easiest.
I don't believe that because we don't know who's actually going to be good. So, like, let's just let it play out first.
I'm with you. This is what I – go ahead.
We got week 1, September 10th, at home, Carolina Panthers, Bryce Young's first game.
Yes, sir. We're going to be so drunk.
Are we?
I think we will. I tell you what, we won't be drunk. We're going to be so buzzed.
It depends on what we do the night before.
We might be hungover going in, I guess. But interesting game to begin with. I mean,
hold on. Let me go through the whole schedule.
Go ahead.
Week 2, we're still at home. We got the Green Bay Packers and Jordan Love. We could be 2-0. Week 3, we're going games. Week 3, we're going up to Detroit to play against Jared Goff, and I think they're overrated. We're going to do an over/under podcast after basketball season's over. We're going to do our over/unders. We're just not doing it this early like everyone else.
It's too early.
We care about what happens in training camp because we want to actually be accurate with ours. But
that'd be like us doing our fantasy draft today.
Yeah.
Why would we do that?
I'm taking Detroit on the under this year, okay? Just throwing that out there.
What do they have? 8.5.
Then we got the Houston Texans coming to town.
We're at Jacksonville. You skipped that. Well, in London against Jacksonville. You skipped that.
Oh, shit. That didn't pop up on the Ticketmaster schedule that I pulled up.
I'm looking at it.
Oh, yeah. So we go to Jacksonville. We probably lose that game because that's a home game.
In London. And Calvin Ridley's going to want to get some ass in that game.
And we're going to want to get some cash back from that thief.
We actually, you know what was so funny? We kind of want him to have a big game. But
we do?
Yeah, because we want them to extend him no matter what. Because we get a second-round pick. Even if it's a late second. I want the pick.
Okay, yeah. Then we got Houston coming into town.
Mm-hmm.
Like our schedule is like a lot of back-to-back home games.
Look at it. Look at it this way: 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, Jacksonville made the playoffs. 5, 6.
5
for our first 6 games are against non-playoff teams from last.
Question: are we going to Raymond James in October down in Tampa?
Well, you know that's around homecoming.
Oh yeah.
I would rather. I'm not gonna lie. I'd rather the very next week.
Nashville?
Yes, sir. Yeah, and I'll get to see this weekend because I'm going up there on Saturday. I've been as an adult, so I'm excited.
I've been to Nashville a time or two. I haven't been since 2014, but
I tell you what, the decision will be made this weekend on my end.
Okay.
If I think that Nashville is better, we're going to Nashville. Like, we got to go to Nashville. You frozen, by the way.
Okay. Because both locations are a car drive for me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Closer.
Exactly. Yeah. Then we get Kirk Cousins coming into town. It's a 1:00 game. He'll probably torch us.
It's 1:00 though.
Yeah, it's 1:00. Mark Schlereth will be on the call. Not many people.
Justin Jefferson's going to have a career day. They'll be like, man, the last person to have 300 yards in the city of Atlanta was Julio Jones. back in 2014 against the Panthers. It'll be some shit like that.
We go to Glendale and we fucking.
We should definitely win that game.
Yo, this Saints game is going to be a interesting conversation in my household that I haven't had yet because we're going to California that weekend because that's Thanksgiving week.
It is, and the
I am not missing the Saints game in Atlanta.
Well, here's the plus side of that game too. If you look at the schedule, we're on bye the week before.
Yeah. I just know, bro.
We have no primetime games, so like every game is Sunday at 1. I guess maybe at the end of the year it could be a Saturday game. No, they're all on Sunday. But as it's scheduled right now, all of our games are played on Sundays. So our schedule is pretty straightforward, I guess is what I'm saying. Oh, you're frozen. Yep.
Yeah, look here. All I'm saying is I'm not missing Falcon Saints. So I should probably communicate that with the wife and say, hey, we're flying back on Saturday.
Well, and you should tell them as wholesomely as you can, it's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it, basically.
Because, I mean.
Well, you say it's basically, it's cool when y'all miss a game, but it's a problem. No. It's cool when I want to go to the game, but it's a problem when y'all want to go.
You know, I'll put it like this.
No, it's cool when y'all want to go. It's a problem.
Well, I gotta do it early though, right? Because
you need to get out there now.
Because the next week is our arranged trip to New York.
Yes, sir. Well, yeah, we're doing the New York game.
Well,
and look, and we play them in December. I know.
It's gonna be cold outside. Yeah,
I'll live. Shit.
No, bro. It makes it that much better. Like, who the fuck wants to play against a New York team in September when you got good weather? If you're gonna be,
you're frozen again.
AT&T, I thought your fiber was good, but no, I want to pull out my Tims. I want to pull out my Tims, son. Dead ass. But then we go to Charlotte. No, Tampa Bay comes to town December. Then we go to Charlotte. Then we will have the Colts come to town on Christmas Eve. Go to Chicago for New Year's Eve. And
a frigid fucking game. That game's going to be cold as shit.
And then to close out the year, we're in New Orleans.
Possible divisional championship game on Sunday night. Who knows? Possibly.
I got family down there, so we'll see. But we got a pretty fucking cake schedule. As a season ticket holder, it's not. It's a great schedule for attending games. Not a great schedule for selling your ticket. Because not many attractions that people are going to come into town and want to see. Arthur, you better get 9 wins out of this fucking schedule, dude.
Oh, yeah. I think anything short of a winning season, obviously he's on the hot seat. But, like, even with Ritter, he's going to be the key to the season. And I think it just depends on how well the, pieces around him play. If our defense is middle of the pack, look, we've seen a Chargers team have the top-rated offense and defense in the league and go 8-8 in a 16-game schedule. So, it can be misleading, I guess, from that perspective. But, if, let's say, I don't know, the defense is middle of the pack. Kyle Pitts has a close to 1,000-yard, 8-touchdown type year. Drake London's a 1,000-yard receiver, 7 touchdowns. And Bijan goes for 1,700 yards all-purpose with 10 total touchdowns. And Algier chips in 600 with 5. I'm looking for a new quarterback because you're like, damn, we still didn't win the division. It'll be like, damn, was the coach sucking or what? How are we losing these games? I guess how do we either only win 8 games or just not win the division. Like what happened? Like what happened in the games will be what determines that. And I feel like the numbers I threw out were like super realistic too.
Desmond Ritter will be the problem.
And I feel like, I guess that's why Heineke's here. And those first 4 games are going to tell us everything that we need to know. If you, after the Jacksonville game in London, if you walk away from that 1-3,
I want Heineke starting day one.
Well, I hope that Arthur Smith doesn't do what he did last year, unless he didn't do that. Oh shit! Almost got a score. This game, by the way, you're frozen again.
I had no plans of cutting this podcast short. But if I keep doing this shit, we're gonna have to cut it short. But dog, Heineke day one. I want Heineke to start. I think he's a better year from week 1 to week 18 starter than Desmond Ritter.
I agree.
I don't want to see what we have with Desmond Ritter. I want to make a decision on him and get the fuck off of him and go sign Kirk Cousins.
I'm with you. And
I mean, but by signing Kirk Cousins, I mean there's going to be a 8 to 14 quarterback that will be available.
I'd rather just go after Dak, oddly enough.
Well, they're the same person to me. I'm just saying, like, one of those quarterbacks is going to become available, and I think we should go after that because Arthur Smith play calls too well for us to have a get the quarterback we actually want draft pick.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't get Mac Jones. We didn't get Justin Fields. We got to play free agency. We got to play free agency now.
Well, either that or if we're bad enough, you can trade. You're going to have, assuming Jacksonville re-signs Calvin Ridley. Oh, you're frozen again. Either that or you trade, your picks to go up to get a guy if you're bad enough. But we have to be bad enough, which I feel like it's going to be really hard for us to not win at least 7 games again. So
exactly.
Either we have to be really bad and then trade like the Calvin Ridley pick will give us a second round. It's going to give us a second round pick, extra 2.
True.
And maybe Grady Jarrett. Depending on how we are, I mean, you might as well. At that point, if you're trying to get a quarterback, you might as well. So, who knows? Well, Lamar already signed. Because then there was always that thought of Lamar, he might not sign or he play it out this year. Now he already re-signed.
Dak's free in 2024.
I don't think they're going to pay him. I feel like Dallas, because Dallas feels like they can go big game hunting regardless because they're the Cowboys. So they have that cachet. Even though they haven't won recently, they still have the cachet of the star.
I mean, it's still Jerry.
It's still a star.
Hey, you saw Davante.
You're frozen.
Hey, this is the last topic, goddammit. I'm tired of this shit. You seen the Davante Adams quotes?
I did about A-Rod, huh?
Yeah, just saying, like, hey, I would improve myself, that I'm more than him. But also, he talked about not being aligned with the direction that the front office wants to go with the team.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's, hey, nigga, I left Aaron Rodgers to come play with Derek Carr. I didn't leave Aaron Rodgers to come play for the Raiders.
I think so, too. I think that Jimmy G, although a very serviceable quarterback that's won more than him, he still ultimately, if he didn't play with Derek Carr in college, he wouldn't have went to Vegas. So, or told the Packers, send me here. Like, they wouldn't have did it. And in a weird way, if he wanted to, when you think about it, he could go to the Jets if they really wanted to make it happen. And here's how.
Mm-hmm.
They got the Rookie of the Year wide receiver on a rookie contract. You mean to tell me that they wouldn't trade Garrett Wilson for Davante Adams? And even if the Jets had to give up a 3 to go with it, I wouldn't do any more than that. But like,
they got to pay Quentin Williams.
Or,
They still got to pay Quentin. They got to extend Quentin Williams. You got to make the money make sense.
or if Aaron Rodgers is only going to play for 1 year, fuck it. Let that nigga play it out. And then you figure out, because if Aaron's off the books, you can still re-sign him.
True.
I mean,
Yeah, bro, I think they pretty much told him, like, hey, man, we're going to do the New England offense. We're going to play
how bad does he make their defense if you lose them? Does it drop from 5 to 18? I mean, is it that for one dude? Is it that big of a gap? Like,
some say he might be the second or third best 3 technique in the league.
3 technique. Okay. I like that you brought in the type of fucking defensive tackle. Because I'm like, he is not the second or third best defensive tackle in the league. Grady J. Look, they could make a trade with the Falcons next if we don't do anything. And they're like, hey, we'll give you a 2 for Grady. Well, maybe they wouldn't do a 2, but like, we'll give you a 3 or a 3, 2 3s. How about that? I bet the Falcons would be like, fuck it. Why not? Because we need a quarterback.
Yeah, here's the thing, man. Davante Adams heard what the fuck McDaniels is going to be calling. He was like, hey, dog, I need my 105 to 115. I need my 12 to 1600. I prefer 16. I need my 10 touchdowns. I don't see that in this. And I don't see us winning a championship either. So I don't see me taking sacrifices personally for the team because the team ain't going to win.
And I came here, one of the 50% of the reason I came here was because of my relationship with the quarterback who, although I knew may not be here because of how his contract was, the reality of it was this too. I totally expected y'all to ride with him because that's what pretty much any organization does. And instead, you guys decide to get a guy that's been injured, basically half of his career. Although when he plays, does win, he also doesn't produce stats for me. And I'm young enough to still, like, if I put up another season like I did the year before, I could, like, be like, hey, we're going to rip up this contract Julio Jones style.
That's really what it boils down to is.
He'll be like, nah, man, I just saw Justin Jefferson get 37 million a year. He's like, I need that too. I'm not gonna lie.
Jimmy G gonna fuck up his next contract, and that's really what he's saying. Like, hey, no, bro, hold on, y'all ain't gonna give me the looks. I know if you give me the looks, I'm gonna catch it. Y'all ain't give me the looks, nah, dude, bro, nah. Let me put this out here so the whole league know I'm unhappy and niggas.
Yeah, he froze.
I told you I'm done after this bullshit freezing. Is there anything else that we need to discuss? Because this has really broken my heart and my spirit.
Hold on. I feel like we're definitely missing something NFL wise.
I know we are. Joe Burrow paid, not getting paid yet.
The potential of doing a NFL draft lottery,
bro. So I like that topic, and I think we can make that
we can table that.
We can table it until NBA season's over because I really think we can get that an hour, especially if my internet's working good.
Wembanyama.
Yeah, we gave it to him.
Well, we kind of already did talk about him, but we didn't even talk about how Woj is sucking his fucking cock, by the way. I mean, he really is. Think about it. Drafting Wembanyama might add as much as $500 million to the value of a franchise. And I don't think that that's like an over exaggeration just because he's from France and everybody in France is going to buy his jersey. But it's like, can you guys stop blowing this dude? He hasn't even played in the summer league yet.
Bro, Oh yeah, hold on. Why are you talking about that? NBA culture. Let me shit on NBA culture real quick. NBA culture sucks.
You're frozen.
Cut off in the middle of a rant. But no, you rush them out of college so they can get paid. But you never think about, hey, this kid may need to be broke for a little while to grow up a little bit more and develop his frontal lobe and then give him some money. You know, half of what Ja does, I'm not even mad about it because we talked about it. You've been in pictures with weapons brandished. We have a friend who used to ride around with a shotgun on his back seat. And it's like, nigga, why? We're not committing crime.
Right.
And I've definitely been a nigga who had the fire on me, and I'm leaving opera, and the nigga look at me wrong. Hey, shit, nah, bro, y'all nigga been out fuck me, boy. I got shit, nigga. I got that Glock on me, nigga.
Right.
Now my frontal lobe developed, and I go, even if I should shoot you, if I can just walk away from this without having to use a weapon,
Everybody wins tonight.
I'd rather do that. And bro, you can rob me, and I'm just gonna cut my cards off. I'm not even gonna tell who took them. So clean me out before I get home, and we're good.
Either way, they're gonna reimburse it. So
Exactly. So it's one of those things where
frozen again, Lee.
it's okay. You don't have to learn how to shoot. We're still going to give you a max contract. But this new CBA is what I call straightening, because those restrictions they are putting on teams who spend over the cap is saying, dog, the players don't realize how bad they're getting fucked because everybody's not getting the max no more. Like a nigga like Jamal Murray is not getting that max extension after his rookie deal no more.
Yeah, after his rookie deal, he's gonna get one again though.
Yeah, no, he's gonna get one. But I'm saying like a player in his tier, every
non-all-star 20-point game guy.
Yeah, bro, they're gonna be like, hey, we're gonna give you 75% of the max, and that player's gonna go.
You're kind of doing it. I mean, I hate to call it my boy, but like Colin kind of got that raw deal, but he also was coming off an injury.
He tore his meniscus. And
I know he was coming off, but I'm just saying he was also he's a 20-point averager for his career, and he got like backup money to a degree. I mean, good money, but like backup money. Like for the league, he got backup money.
But his deal is about to become the norm for a lot of players, and I honestly think it's gonna make the league more competitive.
But it should. Bismack Biyombo got a 4-year, $75 million contract in 2017. Oh, you're frozen.
It's gonna make the league better. Parlay Pete, anything to add before we go? Because I'm getting frustrated.
Here, I'll add this quickly because I don't know if you heard it when I said it. Bismack Biyombo got a 4-year, $75 million deal after the Raptors season. So, like,
Hove did.
They should fucking stop doing that type of stuff. You know what I mean?
Like he should not. He should not get that.
Hey, he's French, by the way, isn't he?
I hear African.
French African. Hold on.
Bismack got a bad deal, just like Jordan Poole got a bad deal, right?
No, Jordan Poole got a great deal
for him.
Hove did.
So I know Bismack Biyombo is African, but I'm just trying. I feel like he played in France, like is how he got drafted. It was Spain. It was a Spain league, but either way, I can't think of anything else from that.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff, but this connection thing is really fucking the whole thing up, and it's pissing me off. And it'll be fixed next week because AT&T is gonna get a nice phone call from me.
Mm-hmm. They'll be there tomorrow.
I mean, bro, I really talked to him about, hey, do I need to bring an extender?
Oh no, it happened again.
They told me I'll be fine, but I'm not. All right, Parlay Pete, AC League, great show. I'll holler at you, Parlay Pete.
All right, brother. Get that extender.
All right, dog.
All right, brother.